Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Good result. Um, Good performance, a good response by our players. Um, it was a good match. It was a match that we needed. We needed this performance. We needed this win. We needed these 3 points. Um, let's get straight into it. I got player ratings. Um, I just want to go over a couple things first, and then we'll get into that. I was happy with the response by the players before the game, before the kickoff. I was very nervous just because of, as I'm sure you're all aware, all the stories that came out since the Newcastle game of players downing tools and Ten Hag losing the dressing room and leaks coming out of the dressing room. And I was just very nervous because with these players, we've seen them do it before. Um, and it would just be an absolute disgrace and a disaster if Eric Ten Hag lost his dressing room and these players were trying to get him the sack. And it's very hard to trust these players. So I just didn't know, what they were going to do today. I didn't know if they were going to come out and play. I didn't know if they were going to come out and just do what they did against Newcastle. And I'm just very happy that the players decided to come and play for us, for the fans, and play for the badge and play for the club. And in terms of when they do that, that means that they are playing for the manager because the manager is employed by the club, and he is backed by the fans. And I'm very happy that they came out. I'm happy that Ten Hag dropped Rashford and Martial to the bench. They deserve to be dropped to the bench. I would have argued to also maybe have dropped Scott McTominay, which apparently I would have been wrong about. But and also maybe Lindelof. Obviously Varane was not part of the squad because he had a some type of a back injury, so he didn't make the squad. But I thought Lindelof could have done better. But overall, it was a good game for us. It was a good 3 points. Solid performance at home. There's just this one thing that bothers me about the match, and it's that we created something like 29 chances, and we had about 9 to 10 shots on goal, maybe a little bit more, and we only scored 2 goals. We missed a penalty. And we had loads of chances. And this is something I've said before in previous episodes, that we need to figure out how to be more clinical. We need to figure out how to capitalize on chances. We need to figure out how to capitalize when the other team did a mistake. Because I tell you what, I don't know if it's a combination of both. I don't know if it's one or the other. But Chelsea looked absolutely garbage. They were garbage. They tried to play out of the back. They couldn't play out of the back. They didn't know how to play out of the back. I think we did a good job pressing. Now I don't know if that's because Chelsea is just so shit playing out of the back that it made our pressing look like we were doing a good job of it. But I mean, when we did go to press, because it wasn't a press for 90 minutes, they were picking and choosing when to press. But when we did choose to press, we were winning the ball back. We were winning the ball back in very good key areas in their half. um we were winning the ball back, and it was turning into situations where it was like a 4v3 or a 4v2 for us. And just the one negative part of the game that really pissed me off, that had me agitated when I was watching the match, because I wanted them to go and do more. They need to capitalize on these chances. They need to take these chances. They need to take these when they do a good job of winning the ball high up the field. They need to make it a goal. that match, we should have had, we could have scored, and we should have had 5 or 6 goals easy. I mean, number one, the amount of chances we created, and just number two, like, Chelsea weren't good. They didn't play good at all. Um, like, at all. And for all the criticism that Manchester United gets for not playing well, and not putting in a good performance, and not looking good, and our style of play not looking good. Chelsea are awful. Are awful. Chelsea are not on the same level as us. They're below us. Um, if I'm going off of by that match, I don't watch Chelsea. I'm not a Chelsea fan, so I don't know how they do in the rest of their. But in the match today, they're nowhere near us. We are above Chelsea. Chelsea was awful, and I I think it's a disgrace by the media, um that they live up Pochettino's ass. They love him. They absolutely love him. I mean, Sky Sports had him, for the match plastered as he was the poster child for today's match. And Eric Ten Hag gets disrespected by the media. They don't like him. They don't like him because he's at Manchester United. They don't like him because he's Dutch. They don't like him because he doesn't speak English as good as some other people. And I think it's a disgrace because you know what? For all the shit that Ten Hag has gotten for when we put in a bad performance or we've got a bad result, um, where's the same level for Mauricio Pochettino and Chelsea, because they're not getting it, and Pochettino's not getting it. They're quiet. They don't want to talk about Poch, and I think it's absolutely crazy, um, and insane that Ten Hag can get so much shit thrown at him, and then somebody that's doing worse than he is, they don't even speak about it. I mean, it's so like, hypocrisy is just crazy. It's so hypocritical of them. And this is why I've been saying we need to back this manager and sack the media. Back the manager, sack the media, because the media, they've been lying. Um, they're scum. Everybody has seen the clip. If you haven't seen the clip, there was a clip that leaked from some type of a not a press conference, an interview that a journalist was doing, that he was asking Eric Ten Hag questions, and the journalist said to Eric Ten Hag's face that from the outside we like to see United in disarray. We like to see you fail, and that's a large part of the media. There's a few that are fans, or that they back us, or that they like us. Very, very few. The rest of them, they hate us. They want to see us fail. They want to see Ten Hag fail. And I think it's evident from the fact that, we four journalists were banned from the press conference, and rightfully so, because they just straight up showed the disrespect and the hate that they have for Manchester United, for Ten Hag. As a journalist, when you get a story, right, or a piece of information, you're getting it from one side. So your job as a journalist is supposed to be impartial, and you're supposed to, as a journalist, you're supposed to go to the person, the entity, the business, whatever it is that the story is going to be about. And you're supposed to offer them a chance to rebuttal what is coming out. And these four journalists didn't have any of the respect to do that, and didn't do their job correctly. I mean, they got that information, whether it's a leak, and that doesn't mean that the information is right just because it's coming from somebody close to the club. It could be a total lie and total bullshit, which I believe it is. And they just took that story and they just put it out. They didn't notify Manchester United. They didn't go to Eric Ten Hag. They didn't do anything that they were supposed to do. Um, and that's why I applaud the club for standing by the manager, because in the past I think the club has leaked stories to hurt the manager, to get the fans on the side of sacking the manager. And I think it was a good decision, a correct decision. It showed strength by the club to stick by the manager and to ban those people from the press conference, which they were rightfully banned. And yeah, I think it was. I think that was the right move, and we got to keep going forward. The media, they're gonna come. They're gonna come for us. They're gonna wait for their opportunity again. You see the strategic stuff that they do. They hold these stories for when there's a bad result, for when there's negativity around Manchester United, and they put the stories out to piss the fans off even more. And they sit back and they watch us rip ourselves apart. And I think it's about time that Manchester United fans come together and stick together. We can have disagreements with each other, right? It's normally it's fine. It's part of society. I'm not saying we have to be like a hive mind and we all have to think the same, but when it comes to anybody from the outside having a go at our players at our club, we have to tell them to fuck off. Only we're allowed to have a go at our players. Only we're allowed to talk shit about our players. Everybody else that's not a Manchester United fan, that's not a part of this club, they need to be hunted down. Not literally. Don't do that. But they need to be hunted down and they need to be called out by United fans, and United fans need to back our club, our players, everything. Even if you don't like them, don't want them there, don't think they belong there, whatever. If it's somebody from outside of Manchester United, if they're not a Manchester United fan, they need to be taken care of. There's no more of this agreeing with rivals that our players are shit or whatever it is because you don't want to handle the banter or you can't take the banter. No, no, no. When they come and say something, you tell them to F off because they are not a Manchester United fan. They have no right to say anything about our players or our club. They don't know the ins and out of our club and they speak out of their ass 99% of the time. So I would implore Manchester United fans to to do have this siege mentality. It's us versus the world. It's us versus the world. If even if you're neutral, most of the time they hate us. A lot of people don't like if you're not a United fan, you nobody likes United if you're not a United fan. So that means it's us versus everybody because everybody else wants to see us fail. Whether they watch La Liga, they watch the Bundesliga. Manchester United lose 2-0 to a team they're not supposed to. What are they doing? Making fun of us. Why? Because they hate us. Because they want to see us fail. And this goes for the media too. There's a lot of them in there, and we need to start calling them out, and we need to start having a go at them when they have a go at our club. Um, and it does make it difficult because we've been there before. We've had players do this sort of stuff, leak and stab managers in the back and whatnot. So it does make it hard to not trust the stories. But at the same time, I know that these people are putting out stories to purposely hurt the club, to hurt the manager. They want to see us rip ourselves apart. They want to see us fail, and we need to cut that out. But enough of that. We're gonna get into the match. I'm gonna do the player ratings. Um, so Onana, he gets a 6. He did all right as goalkeeping. But he was at fault for the goal. You know, he was going the opposite way. It was a smart shot by Cole Palmer, redirected it the opposite way. And he just listen. If you want to be a Manchester United goalkeeper, you have to do better. You have to make that save. But otherwise, it wasn't like a horrendous error, but it was an error. So he gets a 6 for me. 6 is average. I think he was average. I don't think that one little mistake. It didn't cost us the game. It didn't. It didn't. So I think he gets a 6 for today. But going forward, he has to do better, has to cut those mistakes out. If you want to be Manchester United goalkeeper number one, you can't be making these mistakes. He's got to nip them out. He's got to get a hang of it at some time, or the pressure's just going to keep mounting on him, and people are gonna come for his head. And more people will. So he has to take care of that. Delo, I give Delo a 7. Delo was very good today, very good. Was the complete opposite of the Newcastle performance. Um, he was getting down that wing fantastically when he was getting to the opponent's box. He was doing very good things with the ball, putting it into the box, good crosses. Really trying to pick out one of his teammates. We didn't score from it, right? But it's good to see him do that. It was a good response to his Newcastle performance. I was happy for his performance. He was pretty solid on defense as well, and the tracking and all that stuff. So 7 for me. More of those performances, please, on a consistent basis. This is what we need from our players. This is what we need to see them do. Harry Maguire, I give him a 7. We don't do halves on this show, by the way. It's only whole numbers. So Maguire 7. He was steady, solid, involved with the goal. Did his job like he's been doing. He's one player of the month. I think he 100% deserves it. And for those of you that don't know, whether you're new to the show or this was going on before I started doing this. I like many other people, but me personally, I was a big anti Maguire person. I gave him a lot of crap. I criticized him a lot. I wanted him out of the club. I still think he should be moved on, but I am not I'm not biased in any way. The guy has been putting in very solid and good performances. He deserves his credit. And he's shown mentality. He's shown strength at times where I've questioned it for the quotes that he's put out and things that he said in the past to the media. And but he's shown resilience, and he's shown that you can turn things around even when it looks like it's absolutely finished for you. If you dig deep enough, if you look yourself in the mirror, and if you focus and you put in effort, you can turn things around for yourself, and you can start to make positive impacts where things were once negative. And Harry Maguire has done that, and he absolutely, I think, good for him. I'm happy for him that he's one player of the month. I'm sure that makes him feel really good after enduring all that period of time of negativity. And he's done good, and I hope he continues with these solid performances going forward, because we need it and he needs it. So I'm happy for him to keep doing this, and I'm happy for him to keep playing, because he's solidified his spot there. He earned the right to play. And hopefully he keeps up these performances. Lindelof, I gave a 5. Again, he was just he's not horrible. He's not making like mistakes that are costing us matches, but he's not performing like he was at that certain period of time where he was just like absolutely fantastic, like he was pulling out 7 and 8s all the time. He's not. He was poor. He was sloppy. I feel like he was a little bit slow, like in terms of like reacting to what's going on the pitch and stuff. So for me, he gets a 5, and I think based on the performance of Sergio Reguilon, who I gave because he's down here because he's a sub, I gave him a 7, and I'm gonna come back to him. But me personally, if Varane's not gonna play, right? If Varane's not gonna play, and if Varane's not going to play, then I think Luke Shaw should play left center back, and I think Reguilon should play left back, and Delo right back, because I liked what I saw from Regulon. I think he when he came in, it was like you didn't he added to the game like in his own way, and you didn't really say like shit, we're missing Shaw on the left hand side. Like I think he replaced Shaw on that side pretty damn good. So I think I would put Shaw at center back. If Iran's not going to play next to Harry Maguire, I would be putting Shaw there, and I would be starting Regulon because I think Regulon is he's got something to offer, and I like his attacking intent and stuff. But Luke Shaw, speaking of Luke Shaw, gave him a 7. Didn't do anything wrong. Very solid. Very solid performance. Again, did well when he was moved to center back. He did well when he was playing left back. And that's something else that Ten Hag should get credit for. It was a good tactical move. There was in the first half we did get caught on the break once or twice. A little bit of the lack of speed between Maguire and Lindelof. They're both kind of slow. Um, and he moved Luke Shaw to center back to stop that from happening, to cover with the pace, because Luke Shaw has pace. And also I think Luke Shaw reads the game very, very well. For somebody that's supposed to be a left back, I think he reads the game very well. And I think he positions himself very, very good, and that's why he is a very effective left center back. And Ten Hag should get credit for making that tactical adjustment. It was a correct tactical adjustment. He did it at a correct time. So yeah, he should get credit for that. Amrabat, very happy with his performance. I said before the match that I wanted Amrabat to start. I said Amrabat should have started for McTominay. He started Amrabat with McTominay. Um, and it paid off. He made the decision. I guess I was wrong. This time, it is what it is. You get some right, you get some wrong, but good performance by Amrabat. He was very solid. I think he has to start the next match. I liked what I seen from him, and I hope he can use this as a like a starting block and continue on these performances, because I was I was very perplexed how we got to the point where Scott McTominay was starting, but Eric Ten Hag bring in Amrabat, and Amrabat wasn't doing enough and wasn't even he wasn't getting a chance to start. And I think he needs to. I think Eric Ten Hag got him, and I think he needs to make himself get into that starting lineup, because I think he's part of Eric Ten Hag's plan, and I think he's important to Eric Ten Hag's plan, and so I think he needs to be in there. McTominay, we gave him an 8. I mean, Scotty, um, I called you Mick Hide and Seek. That's what I called you. But today you came out to play, didn't you? You did. You came outside to play. You weren't hiding. Um, you came out to play. You scored 2 goals. 2 goals. You won us the match, and you played very good. You didn't. I know he's not the most of like, give me the ball, I'm gonna dictate the tempo type of guy. But when he has matches like this, he does make an impact, and he does deserve credit. As a central midfielder, still bothers me. Um, because the central midfielder, you have to be looking to get on the ball at all times, and influence the game, and always the whole 90 minutes. And he's really not that, but he is effective when we play like this in certain matches. And he did score 2 goals for us, and he could have scored like another one or two, to be honest. So that's why he gets an 8, and he's gonna be the man of the match. I mean, he won us the game, and he played well. So for me, man of the match has to be. And Bruno Fernandez, we're gonna give him an 8 as well. Um, he was everywhere today. he was everywhere and he did everything. You might argue maybe it was lower because he missed a pen, but we missed a pen and we won the game. So, the penalty was poor. I was disappointed with the penalty, was not happy with it at all. He could have obviously done way better, but in terms of the full 90 minutes, in terms of what he did in the midfield, in terms of what he did, all match, he was everywhere and he did everything. And he just needed to he put it in a captain performance. Um and I think for all the criticism he gets for his moaning on the field and complaining. I always look at it different. Like, yeah, he complains, but that's just like it's part of who he is. He's Portuguese. It's just how they express themselves, right? And when he's complaining, it's because he wants his teammates and his team to do better, right? So how I can criticize him for that? Um, he's the captain, and when the captain's not doing good, the captain knows in his head that he has to do better, but he still has to captain the rest of the team. He still has to tell the rest of the players, the rest of his teammates, that they have to step up their performance as well. Um, and I think one of the things that I noticed all match was, he was looking after Alejandro Garnacho. There was a lot of times, Garnacho, how he didn't score today, I don't know. He played well, just couldn't get the goal, and there was a few moments where Garnacho was really disappointed with himself for not scoring, and Bruno was there, just keeping an arm around him metaphorically, just telling him, come on, keep it going. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got to, there's more of the game. Let's go. You're doing good. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep doing that. And, he was just there keeping the kid grounded. And that's why he is the captain, because he looks after other players. And especially the young ones, you can tell. The young players, they gravitate to Bruno. They really like him. And I think it's because he makes a good captain. I think he likes the youth. I think he likes to look after the younger guys. I think he likes to offer a helping hand to whoever he can. And I think that's why Bruno Fernandes is the captain. On top of all of the stuff that he's done for us since he's gotten here. Goals, assists, and all that. I think he deserves that. So Bruno, 8. Anthony, 7. He did well. He was playing positive. It was good to see him play positive. He was playing more simpler, which is good. That's what we were asking for. Um, Obviously he can do more and he can do better. He really needs to somehow figure out. I don't know, man. They have to do some extra training on that weak foot, because he really is one-footed. It's too much one-footed for a professional player. But I like what I saw from him. I like the effort he gave in, and I think he deserves to start again. In the weekend, I think Anthony, Garnacho, and Hoyland deserve to start in the weekend again. They should be starting again for me. I don't think any of them did anything wrong. I think they all played pretty good, and I think Eric Ten Hag talks about patterns and talks about consistency. That front three, give them a couple runs of games, and I think they will click, and I think we will score more goals. So definitely positive stuff there. We're gonna try and wrap this up because we went a little bit over time. Garnacho, I give him an 8 because he got an assist and he did what a Manchester United winger is supposed to do. He played like a Manchester United winger, getting on the ball, going forward, trying to make things happen, taking players on. Never gave up. Sure, he had some frustrating moments, didn't score the goal. Maybe messed up a pass here and there. But again, he is a kid. He's still learning his way, but he's very positive. He has a very positive mindset. Um, and he did what I expect from a Manchester United winger. Putting crosses, tried shots, tried to do 1-2s, plays, making runs. constant effort. So I think Garnacho, he deserves an 8. If you scored a goal or two, he would have been pushing a 10 for me, especially because he got an assist for the game-winning goal to Scott McTominay. So yeah, um, Garnacho, keep it up. Deserves to be starting on that side. Deserves to be starting over Rashford. Deserves. There's nobody really else, to be honest. But yeah, that's. I think Garnacho. I think Garnacho can claim that left side is his for the time being, at least. Definitely for right now, the left side is Garnacho's 100%. And I guess Rashford and Anthony, they're going to have to battle it out on the right. And so far, I think Anthony is doing, from the season where he started to now, he's looking like he's improving in performances. So, you know, um, we'll see. That's competition. You want that spot. You want to be in there. Put in the performances. Play, play, and we'll see. Whoever puts in the better performances, whoever's more consistent, you get the right hand spot. And as you should, because that means you deserved it. That means you worked for it and you deserved it. Um, Rasmus, I gave him a 7. Um, he wasn't on the end of too many chances. Even though we created a load of chances, right? But they just weren't falling for him, and sometimes that happens in a match. But otherwise, the kid, he held the ball up very well. He pressed well. He was making good runs to open up spaces. Um, he was moving around. He was trying to create space. He was trying to create a chance, a give and go, whatever. So in that aspect of the game, he did very well. And I like it. Obviously, he's our striker, and strikers need goals, and we want to see our strikers score goals, and that's their main part of the game. But that's why he's not getting an 8. He's getting a 7. He performed better than average in all the other areas, right? Didn't score a goal. So I think seven's a fair thing, and with this kid, I really believe in him. There's something there. He needs more time. He needs more time, and he just needs something to click for him. It's just, I feel like it's hanging on a thread for him right there between him just going off and him like not scoring. And I think it's gonna come around for him sooner rather than later. And so I'm all here for it. I really like the kid. I like what he has to offer, and I'm gonna back him. The haters that we spoke about before, they're gonna come and say another game, no goal, fuck off. There's our player, and I will criticize him when I feel like it's team fit, and everybody else can fuck off. So that's that. Regulon 7, coming back to Regulon, he did very good as a sub. High energy tackles, high energy with attacking intent, trying to go forward, trying to make something happen. That's why I said I think he was a very good replacement for Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw went to left center back, and Regulon came on, and it was like we had another Luke Shaw, almost with a slightly different style on it, but uh, we didn't. It didn't look like we lost Luke Shaw on the left hand side, which is very good and very important. And I wonder what's gonna happen because he does have a break clause in January, so he can technically go back. I don't think he's going to go back. I think Ten Hag is going to keep him for at least the rest of the season. Um, Maybe he ends up buying him. I don't think so, but you never know. We also have Malasia that's supposed to come back sooner rather than later. So I'm not sure what he plans to do, but for me, I know I wasn't happy about it in the beginning of the season, but the past couple of performances that Regulon has put in, I've been really encouraged by. So I think I would like him to stay for at least the remainder of the season, and then we'll see from there. And Rashford, he gets a 6. He was only 10 minutes or so, and there wasn't a lot going on. in those 10 minutes. He didn't get on the ball too much, so we didn't attack too much after that. So just gets a 6 for it. And if we didn't mention before, Scott McTominay, man of the match. Congratulations, sir. You showed up. You scored 2 goals. You didn't play hide and seek today. I'm happy for that. I'm happy for the response from the Newcastle game. I don't really ever question your heart for the club. You are an academy player, and I think you care. And I don't think you are the type of guy to throw a manager under the bus. But we need a consistency of these performances, and I know you know that, but it was a good response. It was a good response, and I'm happy for you. And credit goes to Scott McTominay. And Ten Hag gets a rating of an 8. Tactics were good. He managed the game well, and the team selection was good. I think he made the correct decision to have Rashford and Martial on the bench. I would have even argued Scott McTominay, but I did say before the match he gets one half. Scott McTominay, out of those 3 players, I would have probably sat them all on the bench, but I said Scott McTominay gets one half. And if he showed even a glimpse of what he did against Newcastle, I would have yanked him off and put on Mainu. But he did well, so he deserved to stay on, and he deserves man of the match. But yeah, otherwise, it was a good match for all of us. Good result for the club, for Ten Hag, for the players, for everything. Very happy, very happy. Good response by the players. It's a positive thing. It's a positive story, especially after all the negativity that we had to endure for the past couple days. And let's try and keep this going. One thing that needs to be said is we are going to take a loss somewhere here and there, and I think it's very important that we stick by this manager. He has a very difficult job. The club is run like a mess. It's a disaster, and it's almost impossible for any manager. So I say, why not stick by this guy? Why not stick by this guy? As long as the players don't give up on him, as long as they're not shipping 4-0 goals to Luton Town and the bottom teams, and they're still here fighting for the manager and they believe in the manager. Why not? Why not? We need to back this guy. And even if the players do let it go, still back the guy, because how many times have the players let us down? The manager takes all the heat for it. The manager gets all the blame. They're the ones that lose their job, and the players keep their job and they get to stay here. So the players need to start doing what they need to do on the pitch, put in the performances, put in the effort. They did it tonight. They need to take it a level up from here. You got to go up. You can't go down. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Like button, smash it, please. It helps us a lot. It gets us into the algorithm. And I wanted to say this in the beginning, but I forgot. On the last match reaction, we had a lot of good comments from viewers, and I'm gonna bring them up in the next episode that we do. Probably before the weekend game, I'm gonna do another episode, and I'm gonna bring up your comments, and we're gonna just talk. I'm gonna talk about them a little bit, because I like to have the community. I want more people to leave comments and leave their opinions and leave their thoughts below. This is what we're trying to build here. We're trying to build a community of United fans, of supporters, where we can come and we can discuss Manchester United. We don't have to agree. That's part of the whole thing. We're all gonna have different opinions and thoughts. And I always like different opinions and thoughts, because sometimes you think of something so one way and somebody comes along and then they express their opinion, and you go, well, you know what, very valid point. I never actually thought to look at it that way. And maybe I agree with you or maybe I disagree with you, but thank you for all tuning in. I hope you have a good rest of the night, maybe a good morning, a good afternoon, wherever you're watching in the world. um We will see you again shortly in the next couple days. Definitely gonna do one before the weekend match. So we will see you then. Don't worry. We will definitely be bringing you another one. We'll catch you later. Peace out.